to talk about something. The most common thing, and one of the huge things that holds us back when we want to build our skills to the highest level. And why would you build your skills to the highest level, Klaus? Because you can. Why wouldn't you go for the highest level if you can? If that's as easy as not going for the highest level, why wouldn't you choose the best, right? This is why you can. Because this is what we do to keep ourselves out of that zone where we suddenly play like little gods, right? Where we say, wow, did I play that? That's amazing, right? Little gods. I don't know if that's blasphemy, but you know what I mean. So what is it that we do? Well, because we have a need to do something else all the time. We're curious. We need variety in our world, right? We want something new to happen all the time. Then we practice something, and then we bring it up to a certain level, or we investigate it to a certain level, and then we go on to something new. And so we always go up here and then down again because we take on something new. A new song, a new scale, a new lick, a new sequence. So we never really push beyond that. And I've been talking about this before in another context. But please listen. This is important. Because what we do, for instance, with any lick. Let's start there. We practice a lick. And we practice it to the point of good, right? And we can do it. We might even practice the lick to the point of amazing, right? But that's still not enough. Because what we need to do is we need to, you ever had a game on your iPhone or Android that you played so much that you can almost do it in your sleep because, that's just where you go every time you need to escape from what's going on around you? That's the same thing here. If you stayed with that lick, you changed it, you molded it, you did something new with it, you added new notes, you changed the rhythm. If that was all you had, was that lick in your entire life. It used to be that way, back when Keith Richards were practicing guitar, or, we didn't have the internet, or people older than me even, right, didn't have the internet, had very few sources of inspiration, so we had to get a lot out of very little, right? Here are the 5 licks that I can give you, and then, build a whole career on that, right? And they did. So they used those 5 licks. They played them over and over again, changed them, changed the phrasing of them. Like, say you learn a lick like, right? Something like that, right? You want to do all kinds of stuff with it. You want to shuffle the notes around. You want to change the phrasing. You want to make it your own, and you want to stay there for long enough for you to be actually able to play an entire solo with just those notes, with just that lick, because you can, right? If we take something, right? Same thing I'm playing over and over again, but it's, that's what you need to do. And that takes forever, Klaus. I have to go into something new because I want to learn a lot, so I have to practice a lot. Yeah, but you'll never learn a lot. You'll never become that musician, that amazing guitar player, if you don't stay there long enough. A guy like Guthrie Govan, who can do almost anything on this instrument. Don't know if you like his playing style, but, it's just an example here. He did the same thing. Right? It's not like he had this amazing talent. He pushed all the way with just a few things, and then bam, 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 all the other few things they added on to it. Once you can do something at an amazing level, it's really easy to add new amazing stuff to that. But as long as you stay with that, just, every time you become good, you lose interest and you go on to something else. The same thing goes for scales, right? And most people stay in their first position minor pentatonic shape or blues scale shape. So that's perhaps not the best example. But we can do a ton of stuff with it. Some people, as I did, launched into all kinds of other ideas like major, minor scales, Dorian modes, practicing all kinds of stuff. And I was equally poor at everything for years until it dawned on me that I must take one thing, like I did when I was practicing sequences, or, I applied that concept, that idea to scales as well. And then suddenly I could use the pentatonic scale for way more. I could use it to play, basically use the major minor scale, which has 7 notes, and I could follow the chords in the background. And I could add new flavors, to the sound of each chord There's so much value to be found in the pentatonic scale, and we've been looking at some of it in the previous videos here, so you would go back and watch those. Also, we have a program on that whole matter of staying with the pentatonic scale and exploiting it, using it to its fullest capacity to take something that you know already. Because think about it. It takes time to get to the point where you know something. But then if you want to take the next step and times that 10, you know, you got your skill level down of being able to play a tune-up string pattern, and you can improvise within it or play some licks, then you want to take that skill and you want to get every single amount of value out of having practiced that as you possibly can. So you want to apply it in every single way you possibly can, right? In order to really say, okay, I got this little bundle here that I practiced. Now let me make it, you know, be that much by just doing a little extra work, right? Stay with it for long enough for it to explode. The same thing goes with a little lick like that, right? This is an old example. I've given that in a couple of other videos, but I heard Mike Stern go something. He stayed with just these 3-4 notes over and over and over again in his solos. And I just decided to learn exactly that, to stay there and to figure out what little details can I add, what new notes. And that totally opened up my ability to play solos because suddenly my brain got it. Instead of playing predetermined, pre-practiced patterns, licks, I was actually able to improvise because I could mold that little entity of notes in so many ways. Go everywhere with it. Right? Why would I ever leave? Right? It's cool to be there. But you need to take this principle and then apply it to everything, right? Really say, okay, now I know the C major shape. Can I move it up the neck? And play another really cool open string chord, right? Now I know this way of holding my fingers. What else can I use that for? Oh, play a F major. Right? It applies to everything. Scales, licks, sequences, techniques. Just go all in and make sure you get every single ounce of value from everything you practice. Go all the way. And I promise you, your skill level will actually explode. It's not hype. It's not a catchphrase or, clickbait. Your skill level will actually explode because you take one thing and then you utilize it, and create 10 times the value. Really, you do, right? Like one lick that you can play entire solos with, right? Instead of having to come up with 10 or 20 licks per solo because you need to cram all that in there. So go check out the new program on scales and how to utilize the pentatonic scale in so many other ways than we're used to. And then I'll see you in the next video.